Little Havana, just west of downtown Miami. We've got baseball from Lone Depot Park. Tonight, the opener of a 3-game series between the St. Louis Cardinals and the Miami Marlins.
Ladies and gentlemen, your Miami.
It's Marlins baseball on the show.
Marlins.
Next. Trevor Rogers will be on the mound for the series opener. Dan, any thoughts?
Hey, Matty V, this ought to be exciting. This is one of the top young pitchers in the game right now. He keeps getting better. He keeps learning. And if he continues at this pace, this guy has a chance to be one of the more reliable pitchers in the game.
Ready now is Ozzie Smith. And we are set for baseball here this evening.
St. Louis, the shortstop, Ozzie Smith.
First pitch on the way. That's yanked into the stands. Strike one.
First pitch, 640.
Weak grounder back to the mound. Throws in time, and that's out number one.
Batting second.
Now a chance to look at the starting 9 for the visiting St. Louis Cardinals. Giro, give us what you have on this lineup as they start a new series.
Well, Matty, we know this is a pitcher's park. The numbers bear it out. Look for the managers to play a part in this one. Hopefully the guys listened in the hitters meeting. They're going to stay up the middle, big part of the yard. But when they get on, look for some wheels in motion, some execution, trying to manufacture some runs. I think that's how this lineup will play it out.
Guys, this Marlins ball club, as they begin play here tonight, they come in 2-1 on the young season and off to a good start.
Yeah, Matty, we had a saying in Texas, hit or get left behind. And that's exactly what this team did in their last game. Scored a bunch of runs, but good approach at the plate, working the ball to all gaps. Line to line, this team swung the bats well. I'm going to be looking for that again in this one.
On its way, the 0-2 pitch. Fastball, strike 3 called as he couldn't pull the trigger, and there are 2 away.
Just flat out froze him there. Nothing too deceptive about that four-seam fastball, so I think he wasn't expecting it at all.
Lee.
At the plate now, Michael Lee. He grounds it sharply to third. Over to first, and that retires the side. Down in order go the Cardinals. Now the Marlins will see what they can do. No score. Adam Wainwright, a right-handed Georgia native, gets the starting nod. What do we need to know here, Danny?
Hey, Matty V, this ought to be a fun one to watch. This guy's been around the block for a while, but he's having a rock-solid season with a real good ERA. It'll be really interesting to see how he attacks his opposing lineup.
Into the box, Starling Marte. He'll lead things off here in the bottom half of the first. Curveball, and that misses in the dirt for ball 1. And fellas, we take a look at the Redbirds entering play here tonight. They come in off to a bit of a slow start with just 1 win in their first 3 tries.
Yeah, Matty, I know they lost their last game, but you know as well as I do, in this sport, you have to have short-term memory. You have to let it go. They can get it going back in the right direction today.
Had him off stride that time, and it's 1-2.
Woo, that was an ugly swing. If I'm pitching right now, I'm throwing that same pitch again. That was ugly.
To 2 balls and 2 strikes now. Two pitches fouled away. Into the windup and the pitch. Curveball got him swinging for the first out.
That's a pretty sad attempt at hitting a baseball right there. No doubt he was completely fooled because that was a curveball and it looked like he was late on a curveball. That tells me he gave up on it right till the very end, and obviously there was nothing he could do at that point.
Standing in now, Cliff Floyd. As the first pitch to him is off the plate for a ball, 1-0. Bases are empty, one man out. Right side, but it's well foul. Even at a ball and a strike, here's the pitch. Hit on the ground toward the left. Arenado's got it. Throw on to first, and Wainwright has it working now. 2 away. We have a moment here in Miami to take a look at the Marlins starting lineup. Dero, what do you got in this lineup in the series opener?
Well, Matt, this goes for both lineups. They know they're dealing with a tough test in a pitcher's park, but they can't let that bother them too bad, or they'll walk out of here 3-4 game set 0 for 12, 0 for 15. They have to find a way to stay within themselves. Line drive approach. One will carry out of here if they get it.
David Lee is in with 2 away as he takes a ball, 1-0. 2 out, nobody on. This is hit high and deep out to left. Brock looks up, and this one is gone. A home run. A solo shot here to left. Home run number 3 here in the early going as the Marlins will take a 1-0 lead.
Yeah, we always talk about how important it is to spot your starter or run it to early in the game, and he does just that. Blasting a no-doubt bomb that serves notice. They're going to be swinging with the wood here. No better way to get the home crowd into it right out of the gates.
That'll bring up Gary Sheffield.
The right fielder.
He'll watch a first pitch curveball drop in there for strike 1. Looking to get on base and keep this first inning alive. Now a good pitch around the knees, but it doesn't quite catch the bottom of the zone. Hit the target, but this is low, 2-1.
You know, what I'm seeing here is a reluctance to throw the fastball. It's like he feels he can't throw the ball right by him right now.
To first. He's got it. He'll step on the bag himself, and the inning is over. 1 for the Marlins on the solo shot. Second inning coming up. Miami out to an early 1-0 lead. At the plate now is Mark McGuire. He'll lead things off here in this one-run contest.
Mark McGuire.
First offering.
It's pretty tough for a hitter to go up there looking for a first pitch changeup. And a good job of dropping it in for strike 1.
Swing and a miss, and he's in trouble now, 0-2. So let's take a peek at the umpiring crew in this one. Behind the plate is Ricky Holiday.
Yeah, Dan, we got Ricky Holiday behind the dish tonight. I can't figure his zone out. He doesn't favor the hitter or the pitcher and can be a little too inconsistent at times.
Dero, you hit the nail right on the head. I think one of the things we're looking for a consistent zone. If it's a tight zone, it's a high zone. Have the same zone. His zone fluctuates a little bit too much for my liking during the course of a game.
So stepping in is Nolan Arenado. Now the first pitch. A fastball here as he'll take a look at ball 1, 1-0. Maybe trying to back him up a bit there with the fastball. From the windup, the 2-0 pitch.
Hey, I still believe in my heart the best pitch is a well-executed fastball down and away, and that's exactly what that is. He swings at that. That's off the end of the bat. That's not hard contact at all, and that's an easy out for the defense.
The 2-2. Lifted into the air to shallow center. And he will make the play out there, and there are 2 away now.
Batting 6, the catcher, number 4, Yadier Molina.
So now to the plate, Yadier Molina. He'll work on keeping this top of the second alive. First pitch of the AB now. Tried to check it, and it's 0-1.
Hey, when you're featuring a mid-90s fastball like this pitcher, attack with that pitch. Get ahead. Get the offense on their toes. That opens up the off-speed pitches later in the game.
Hit down the line at first. And he'll step on the bag himself, and the inning is over. 1-2-3 go the Cardinals. They're down 1-0. Last half of the second set to go. And next to bat will be the first baseman, Miguel Rojas.
Miguel Rojas.
Now here's the pitch.
Ball, that's out.
Into his windup. Here comes the 1-0. 1-1 the count now. The pitch.
3-2. The count is 1-2. Nope.
Too much dip on the sinker, laid off for a ball. Here now the 2-2.
3-2.
Well, you don't see it all that often, but this might be a good time for a 3-2 change. If he can locate it, it's nearly impossible to hit.
A wave and a miss made him reach. Throw on to first is in time to get him, so that'll go down as a strikeout and a 2-3 putout for out number 1.
Baseman,
Striding in is Brian Anderson. He's ready. Here's the first pitch.
Ball 1.
Grounded softly down the line toward first. But a foul ball, 1-1. The pitch.
2 balls, 1 strike.
1 out, nobody on. To 2-2 now.
2 strikes.
He's going to have to set his sights a little lower right there. That pitch was able to get by him. His swing was just a little under that one.
Fouled away. High and deep down the left field line. But this is going to wind up a foul ball. Full count, 3-2.
These last 2 guys are making him work quite a bit out there. Both have been long at bats, and all in all, he's had to make 13 throws just to them so far.
Bases are empty, 1 man out. And he finally wins the battle as this is swung on and missed for the second out. Up next from Miami, Joe Panic, trying to avoid becoming the 3rd strikeout victim of the inning here. Wainwright gets the sign. Here's the first pitch.
Ball.
Wainwright ready, the 1-1. 2-1.
Count is 2-1.
Bases are empty here with 2 men out. Even count, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Ready on 2 balls and 2 strikes. Here it comes.
Thank you.
Jorge Alfaro would be next. And he lets him off the hook there, as this isn't even close for ball 4.
Batting 8th, the catcher, Jorge.
So it's a runner at first with 2 gone. And up next will be the big catcher, Jorge Alfaro. He's set. Here it comes. He's ready. Here's the 0-1. Breaking ball swung on in the dirt. Molina recovers, and that ends the inning. 1 left for Miami. We played 2 innings. It's 1-0. That brings in Tommy Edman. He's the number 7 hitter, but he's leading off the 3rd after the first 6 guys in the lineup have been retired in order.
Yeah, it's been a great start to the guy on the mound. It'll be interesting to see if they can find a way to get to this guy before he really settles in.
And now a pitch on the way. Lifted in the air to center. After it is Marte. He gets to it and makes the catch for the first out.
Batting 8th, the center fielder, number 27.
So 1 gone here in the St. Louis 3rd. And into bat next will be Tyler O'Neill. First pitch of the AB on its way.
Ball 1, no strike.
The offense better get it going right here, because they certainly can tell from their dugout this guy is carrying himself with a presence out on the mound.
Nope,
he's got feel
outside
for all his pitches.
2 balls and no strikes to the Cardinals center fielder. 2-0 count. The pitch.
Yep, that ball went out.
Well, of all the guys in this lineup, he's definitely the guy I'd be cautious with, especially with a 1-run lead. No surprise that he's treading lightly right here.
Cardinals have been held out of the hit column here. That one's in there. 3-1. 4 pitches, all takes. He's showing a lot of patience here.
And I like that from a guy like him, Matty. He can do a lot of damage on the base pass with his legs. So there's no reason for him to get overly aggressive if he's not getting anything to handle.
Something has to give. Here's the payoff pitch. And he looks at ball 4 now. So he's aboard, and you always have to worry about the threat of the steal when he's on base.
And I'm sure the manager is just fine with that. I mean, it's better to battle a slugger like that to the end and end up walking him than serving on up where he can really hurt you.
So now the pitcher, Adam Wainwright. This is a textbook sacrifice situation, so let's see if that's the call. Ready to deal. Here comes the first pitch.
Nope. That's inside.
O'Neill leads off first with 1 away. Can't sit back long enough, and the count evens up at 1-1. Tied him up there as this is softly hit down the line. And that's the first hit in this one for the Redbirds. And they'll have runners at the corners following the 1-out single.
Well, that's what's so disappointing as a pitcher, D-Row. You make a really good pitch, and yet this guy's so big and so strong, he's able to muscle it into right field for a base hit.
Yeah, you hand your batting gloves to the first base coach right there, and you thank your lucky stars. That's a nice AB.
Into the box, Ozzie Smith, as he will look at a first pitch fastball for ball 1. Runners are at the corners with 1 man out. slowly hit the short, probably too slowly to get to. It's a panic covering, but wisely, no thought of a return throw, and the inning will continue.
Well, they really didn't have a shot at turning two on the high chopper. They only get one, and that allows the runner from third to score.
Next to dig in, Lou Brock. First time up, he went down looking.
Yeah, always frustrating to go down looking. Everybody does it, though. You'll have a few ABs where you get completely fooled. Look for him to be on the attack.
Wow, and they end the inning with the caught stealing. Another look at the throwdown that results in a third out on the bases. We're back with more on this Monday night after this. Digging in will be Trevor Rogers as we move on to the bottom of inning number 3.
The pitcher, Trevor.
First pitch coming from Wainwright. That one's down around the knees, taken for a strike. And it's fouled away. The 0-2 delivery. Swing and a miss as he starts the third the same way he ended the second with a punch out, one away.
Well, I'm glad we get another look at that beauty of a pitch right there. You can't spot a sinker in a better location because even if you do get the bat on the ball, there's not a whole lot you can do with that. Textbook sinker.
Here's Starling Marte. Hit softly down the line at first. Fielded cleanly, and good hustle to get over and tag him for the out.
Sometimes for a first baseman, the best thing you do is just go ahead and tag the guy like that. Hey, there's a lot more that can go wrong when you try to throw to the pitcher or the second baseman covering.
Now at the plate, here is Cliff Floyd, grounded out in his last at-bat.
Yeah, Matty, and it looked like a sinker in his last AB that got him to roll over. Kind of similar situation right here. Similar stuff on the mound.
We'll have to leave it there as the play is made for the third out. 1, 2, 3 go the Marlins. We've played 3 full. We're tied at 1. Stepping in for the Cardinals, Lou Brock comes into this at-bat 0 for 1 in the ballgame. Now here's the first offering. This is hit the other way out toward left field. Left fielder is on the move. He gets there to make the play for the first out of the inning.
The right fielder, number 8, Michael Lee.
Now at the plate is Michael Lee. He bounced out last time up.
Yeah, I understand that, Matty, but this guy's got burner wheels down the first base line. I don't think he even concerns himself with that. He has to put it on the ground. That's part of what makes him successful.
1 ball, no strikes the count. And he fouls this one off.
That's a real nice location with that fastball up and in on the hands. Hard to do much with that because a hitter really can't extend his arms very easily.
Just 1 hit apiece for both of these clubs. Goes the other way and sends it deep down the right field line. Sheffield is back to the track as he takes it for out number 2.
The first baseman, number 25, Mark McGwire.
Now the Cardinals number 4 hitter, Mark McGwire, 0 for 1 for him here in this one. Ready with the first pitch. Here it comes. And that misses for ball 1.
Hey, they say solos won't kill us, but I got to believe this guy's looking to do exactly that.
And that one yanked just foul. The 1-1. Popped him up. and no one can get there. It's a foul ball. 1 run, just 1 hit, and no errors so far for the Redbirds. And it's to 2-2 now with the bases empty and 2 gone here in the inning.
Well, I think that pitch is the result of a lot of foul balls. He might have tried to do a little bit too much with it, trying to get him to swing through it, but it just ended up taking off on him.
2-2 count. Here it comes.
I can't lose, ball.
3-2 counts are usually a time to challenge the hitter, but I think he'll be careful here. Shoot for the corner, and if you miss and you walk him, so what? That's better than him putting one in the seats.
Now the payoff pitch home. Gets him looking up around the letters. Down in order go the Cardinals. We'll go to the bottom of the 4th, tied 1-1. Ready to go in the bottom of the 4th. And next will be the first-year shortstop, David Lee.
Yeah, Matt, going back to that last at-bat when he hit the homer, that was a fastball that was up in the zone. This guy likes the ball up in the zone, so if I'm on the mound right now, I'm thinking try to keep the ball at the knees and below. He doesn't handle that low pitch quite as well.
Taken, and that one catches the bottom part of the strike zone. And this is low, ball 2. 2-1. Three and 1 to the Marlins middle infielder.
Team's been struggling on offense. Let your D work for you right here. Pound the zone.
The 3-1 pitch.
Hey! We got 3 balls and 2 strikes.
Down the left field line and deep. And foul. The next 3-2. Hit hard down the line. Arenado has it, and a good throw gets him 1 gone. So with 1 away, let's punch up the graphic and show you the pitch speed comparison for the 2 starters here in the 4th inning. And to this point, these 2 have topped out at 95 and 91 miles an hour respectively. Up next, Gary Sheffield. He's 0 for 1 after grounding out in his only trip to the plate so far. First offering. Windup and the 0-1. Looped out toward third. Throw in time at first for out number 2.
The first baseman, number 19, Miguel Rojas.
Next to stand in is Miguel Rojas. Struck out in his first at-bat. Wainwright gets the sign. Here it is.
Ball, that's out.
2 out, nobody on. That evens it up 1-1. Two and 1.
Inside.
Fastball is looked at for strike 2.
I got to count 2-2.
Did a good job to shorten up and protect the plate, and he'll have another shot at it here. This should end the inning as it's sent out to second. Reined in. Throw to first with time to spare, and the side is retired. Pretty painless half of the inning all told. We played 4 full, all tied at 1-1. Welcome back. Heidi Watney standing by as we get set for the top of the 5th.
Thanks, Matt. In between innings, I was able to catch up with the manager of the Cardinals to discuss his thoughts on his lineup so far. And flat out, he told me they just need to put better swings on the ball right now. He said it's been pretty apparent that they're just not finding a lot of hard contact today. There have been a lot of outs on softly hit balls, and while most of the credit for that goes to the opposing pitching, he said it's important for them to continue to make adjustments at the plate. It's games like these where they have to get back to the basics and find a way to generate some offense.
All right, Heidi, thank you. Now the first pitch. Nolan Arenado is in to start things off here as he looks at a called strike. It's 0-1. Line hard into left. And that's a base hit. 1 for 2 in his first couple of plate appearances.
Up next for the Cardinals, the catcher, Yadier.
Into the box now, Yadier Molina, as he takes a called strike at the knees. It's 0-1. He's 0 for 1 after grounding out in his only trip to the plate so far. Comes set, and the 0-1. Well behind that fastball. It's a swinging strike. Arenado gets his lead at first, nobody out. Out in front of that one, but he stays alive and will do it again on 0-2.
There's another pitch for a strike, and this guy's really attacking hitters well tonight, being aggressive early on, and if he continues to throw strikes like he is, he's going to have a pretty good night.
The next 0-2. Got him. Fooled on the pitch as he swings at it in the dirt for strike 3.
Wow, that's one of the toughest pitches in baseball to hit, right? That good straight changeup, El Cambio. There's not much you can do with that. You're going off of that arm speed, and the ball, it just doesn't get there.
In now, Tommy Edman. As the first pitch to him is swung on and missed for strike 1.
Hey, this isn't exactly the way you'd like to draw it up. Not throwing a lot of first pitch strikes, but the bottom line is he's getting outs.
Runners on first with 1 down. Swing and a miss. It's 0-2. Really feels like he's just on cruise control out there on the mound right now.
Boy, this is a tight one. You kind of get the feeling like the next team that scores is going to win this one.
Here it comes, 0-2. And a fastball in the dirt that's taken for a ball. Fouled off. Here he comes on a ball and 2 strikes. Inside and a hair low. It's 2 balls and 2 strikes.
This is a fun guy to watch when he's up there. Really battles. Doesn't take any pitches off. He's a grinder. Always seems to make it difficult on the opposing pitcher.
Trying to nibble here, and he misses to run it full now. 3-2.
Not a bad time right here to put that runner in motion. 3-2 count. You send the runner, and if it's a bad pitch, it's ball 4.
Runner on first here with 1 gone and a 1-1 tie. High fly ball out to straightaway center. Under it now is Marte to pull it in for out number 2.
The center fielder, number 27, Tyler.
And stepping in, Tyler O'Neill. He worked the walk and came around to score in his first trip in this game. From the stretch. Fastball misses in the dirt as he tried to get him to chase the low one. Runner aboard at first here with 2 gone in a 1-1 ball game. And he fires in a strike this time to make it 1 ball and 1 strike.
Although he doesn't use that pitch too much, if he's able to steal some strikes early in the count, could be something they have to think about.
Softly hit here to the left side. On to Panic, and that'll retire the side. Cards leave 1. Halfway home, all even at 1 apiece. Welcome back to Miami as we check in with Heidi Watney.
Matt, during the commercial break, I had a chance to catch up with manager Don Mattingly about the Marlins' offensive production, and he told me he's pretty unhappy with their discipline at the plate in this one. He said they've been chasing at pitches out of the zone all game, which obviously doesn't usually lead to good results. Until they start being more selective with their swings, he said they will continue to struggle.
Okay, thank you, Heidi. Set now for the bottom of the 5th, and that'll bring up the outfielder Brian Anderson.
The third baseman, Brian Anderson.
Ready to deal. Here comes the first pitch.
Ball
1.
down.
Swung on and hit on the ground at the Wizard. And a throw over by Ozzy's in time, 1 away.
Now batting, second baseman, Joe Panic.
1 away now for the Marlins in their half of the 5th. And that'll bring up the former St. John's University standout, Joe Panic. Now here's the first offering.
That's the ball. Look out, 1-1.
The 1-1 home. 1 ball and 2 strikes to count. The 1-2 from Wainwright. Swing and a miss on the changeup, and there are 2 gone.
One of the toughest pitches they hit, the straight changeup, right? El Cambio. Hadn't seen it in that entire at bat. And what happens? Gets the string pulled on him right there. Had no chance to put that ball in play.
So now to the plate, Jorge Alfaro. Will swing and lift the ball foul off to the left and out of play. Looking to put the ball in play here. He went down on strikes in his first at bat. The 0-1 delivery.
Nope.
1-1.
Ball 1.
Hey, I hope that call doesn't throw him off his game right here. He's been pitching one heck of a game, and I'd hate to see the umpire get in his head right now.
One run, just 1 hit, and no errors in the game for the Marlins. To 1-2 now.
He's gone to the well with that pitch 3 times in a row. I'm interested to see if he changes it up right here.
Here comes the 1-2. Swung on and missed. He got him on strikes. Miami down in order. We played 5 full, tied at 1 aside. All set for the start of the inning, and next will be the pitcher, Adam Wainwright.
The pitcher, number 50, Adam Wainwright.
Wheels and deals. Here's the first pitch.
0-1.
Oh, got him to swing out of his shoes on that one. 0-2.
Wow, this guy has been on top of it today. Pushing the throttle and pulling it when he needs to.
Ball 1.
Cardinals pitcher up there with a 1-2 count. Here comes the 1-2. Fouled away.
Hey, usually the second time through the order, you start seeing an incorporation of some more off-speed stuff. But this guy's locating, feeling really good about his fastball. 2 back-to-back.
And that's high for a ball. It's 2-2.
We just saw a fastball right there. I would not be shocked if he tries to get this guy to go fishing right here and drops a little off-speed pitch in the dirt.
And a changeup swung on and missed for the first down.
Well, pitching domination continues. Just a total of 2 runs on the board, so both of these starters should feel really good about their showings. If you love good pitching, this has been the game for you.
Stepping in now, Ozzie Smith. As the first pitch to him is in there for a called strike 1. 0 for 2 for him to this point. That misses wide. 1 ball and 1 strike. And this one runs a little too far in. Ball 2. Down the first baseline. Well, this will be a foul ball as that evens things at 2-2.
He's certainly pushing the throttle and pulling it with those 4 pitches. Statistics class tells me I'm sitting fast.
Not close with that one. It's way above the strike zone.
That was kind of a gift to the hitter. He's up there probably thinking of protecting on 2-2, but when you launch a ball that high out of the strike zone, it's obviously easy to take that one.
And it's fouled away. 7th pitch of the at-bat coming up. And another foul ball. Another full count pitch home. Gets him swinging. He struck him out.
Boy, that's really disappointing for a guy that has wheels, right? All he wants to do is get on base and take advantage of the strength of his game, which is his speed. But with the strikeout right there, you can't get on first base if you strike out.
At the plate now, Lou Brock. Lifted down the line in left. And this will wind up a foul ball. He's hitless in his 2 at-bats so far. And it's 1-1 to Brock. Now a swing as he rifles this one into center for a base hit.
And they keep the inning alive with a base hit, but you can see that's only the 3rd hit he's given up the entire game, so he's still in total control out there.
Prior to the at-bat, a check on first. And he has to dive, but he's back in easily. Standing in now, Michael Lee, as he looks at a fastball that's in there for strike 1. That's in there, and he's deep in the hole now, 0-2.
2 takes, and now he's down 0-2. I'm not sure, but he may have been taking to give the guy at first a chance to run.
From the belt, kicks and deals. Weak grounder down the line at 3rd. Gonna be a tough play. Throw cleanly into first, and that ends the inning. 1 left for the Cardinals. Still tied 1 apiece. So here now is the pitcher, Trevor Rogers. He'll look to light a spark under this lineup that hasn't found the scoreboard since back in the 1st inning.
Yeah, and for me, the story has been the starting pitching they faced. It's been very difficult to rebound and, quite frankly, dominate after getting roughed up a bit in the 1st inning of a start. So I'll give him a lot of credit for what he's been able to do.
And the pitch. Back on the hill is Wainwright now as he jumps ahead of the leadoff man, 0-1. Pitch taken several inches below the zone, in fact. One and two now. Into the windup and the pitch.
2-2 now.
You certainly know he's not trying to work around the pitcher, but sometimes the hardest thing to do is to throw a strike to a guy that you know won't swing the bat.
And he fouls this one off. Had to wait back on the changeup, and he did a good job just to make contact. The 2-2 one more time.
He's got a good feel for his off-speed pitches second time through the order, and we just saw 3 in a row.
Neither guy giving in. Here's the next one. Finally just wear him down as this one swung on and missed for the first out.
Now, I know he struck out there, but for a pitcher, that's a pretty solid at bat. Anytime you can make an opposing pitcher out there work and throw quite a few more extra pitches, that's a quality AB in my book.
Digging in next will be Starling Marte. And into center field as he's aboard with a one-out single.
Dan, are you even concerned about that? You've been pitching out of the windup all game, and now you have to go to the stretch.
It can be a concern sometimes, but you try to, in between starts, to make sure that you throw enough pitches out of the stretch. And he's been out of the windup most of the game, so we'll see how he reacts here after this base hit.
Into the box, Cliff Floyd. As the first pitch to him, a sinker in the dirt for ball 1. He's 0 for 2 in the ballgame so far.
He's going.
Marte off for second. Down the line and fair. That's a hit. The runner from first crosses the plate. So much of this game is situational hitting, guys. Nice job there.
Yeah, you've got to find a way to pick your teammates up when you're given the chance. And he doesn't try to do too much right here. He just takes what's there. Safely on second, and his buddy is high-fiving teammates in the dugout.
In now, David Lee, as he'll take a look at ball 1. He's working on a 1 for 2 game so far. The 1-0 home is low and outside for a ball.
If you've been paying attention, the guy on the mound does not want to come inside. If I'm at the plate, I'm leaning out over.
This pitch is popped up. McGuire might try to make a play on it, and this will not be caught. It's a foul ball. Now the 2-1. Sent foul again, and after being way ahead, now it's even at 2-2. Struck him out, and he becomes the 9th strikeout victim thus far.
Anytime you get rookies just breaking into the big leagues, you have to expect a certain amount of this. There aren't any easy at-bats at this level, and you really have to learn how to slow the game down in your head because everything feels like it's so much faster up here.
And it looks like they'd rather go after the next guy as the intentional walk signal comes here with 2 away.
That's what's called getting the treatment. Everyone knows he's a power threat with the bat, so it's all about not letting him be the guy that beats you.
So next to hit is Miguel Rojas. We'll see if he can come through in a clutch spot here. 2 on, 2 out here in inning number 6. Looking to keep this a one-run game. The pitch. He's set. The 0-1. And this one's in the dirt. Good job to corral this quickly as the runners hold on. Here's the 1-1. Hit out towards second. Scooped up. Throw to first in time, and the big inning is avoided as the side is retired. But a run will score in the inning on this RBI double. 4, 5, and 6 coming up to start the 7th. 2-1 now, Miami. And now, Mark McGuire. And guys, 7th inning already. Hey, I'm not complaining, but this one's been flying by.
Yeah, I'll agree with that, Matt. That's what you get when both starting pitchers have it working. Neither of them have been nibbling around the strike zone at all, and they've trusted their defense to make the plays, and they've done just that.
Yeah, and it's resulted in a game that could really go either way in these late innings. First offering on its way.
Ball.
You know, because this is just a one-run game, this doesn't strike me as a situation where he's going to be working around a guy. I think he's going to challenge him right here.
The 1-0 home is laid off for ball 2.
Don't expect this pitcher to throw something over the heart of the plate. He's going to have to stay on the corners right here. Huge spot in this game. Do not miss over the heart and get beat.
Too high, and it's 3-0.
Very impressive outing so far. His command has been spot on. Even when he misses his spot, it isn't out over the heart of the plate. He's throwing quality pitches.
Now the 3-0 offering is taken, strike 1.
Great job on those last 2 pitches of varying speeds. Gave him a hard fastball, and then he locked him up with a changeup.
A good pass at that ball, just a little late, and now the count's full. Now the 3-2 pitch. And he lays off ball 4. So now the potential tying run here is aboard late in the game.
Man, that's a tough one to swallow. You're hanging on to a slim lead, and the last thing you want to do is give up a leadoff walk. Seems like those are the ones that always come back to haunt you. So we'll see if that's the case here.
And now the Miami manager's up out of the dugout and on his way out to the mound. And we're going to see a pitching change as that's going to do it for his starter here tonight. So he'll depart with the lead and a chance to be the winner, but he is responsible for the tying run at first. John Curtis comes on now, and he'll take over with nobody out in inning number 7.
Curtis.
Nolan Arenado will be the first to stand in against the new pitcher as he'll do so with a runner at first and nobody out. Quick check on that tying run at first. From the belt, kicks and deals. Now a fastball a bit too low here. It's ball 1.
With that base running threat on first base, man, does that change the pitcher's whole mentality. This guy at the plate should assume nothing but heaters coming right at him.
High that time with the slider, taken for a ball.
This is a spot you really don't want to be in with a great hitter like that. You can't just lay one in there, but you also don't want to run the count to 3-0.
Too far out in front that time. He can't keep it fair. 2-1. From the stretch. Here's a look over to first. And a dive, but he's back in there. The 2-2 is laid off, and the count runs full.
When you're playing close games like this, base runners mean everything, so he can ill afford to start giving away free passes.
Full count, here it comes. And he missed with it. Ball 4, so that means now the potential tying run will move into scoring position at second.
And I'm pretty sure he thought that was a strike. He's thinking, what do I have to do? Put a bow on it? Walk it down and put it in the catcher's glove by myself? I think it got called a little outside, so he has to put it behind him now.
So stepping in is Yadier Molina. The base knock to the outfield could score the tying run from second. From the stretch, here's the pitch. Way late on the fastball for strike one. 0-1, here's the pitch. And here's a ball hit in the air. And this will wind up a foul ball.
Man, the Redbirds, they've been struggling all game long. They've yet to been able to get that big hit. This is the time for the big hit for the Redbirds.
Down and away, it's a ball and 2 strikes.
That's a great take right there. You knew the pitcher was going to try and expand the zone. 0-2 in a big spot, and he was able to spit on that one. Hopefully get something in the heart of the plate this pitch.
And this is swung on and missed, and boy, they took care of a key man there. 1 away.
I think he had his mind made up. He was swinging the bat and trying to protect before the ball even left the pitcher's hand. That pitch wasn't even close. He would have needed a flagpole to hit that one.
At the plate, Tommy Edman, as he will take strike 1 on the fastball here. No balls and a strike. No hits to this point. And this is wide. 1 ball and 1 strike. 1 out with the possible tying and go-ahead runs on base here. And here's a pitch swung on and missed. 1-2 now. Swing and a liner. Well, this is a foul ball as the count holds steady at 1-2. Ball 2.
2-2.
Here now the 2-2.
3-2.
Tyler O'Neill waits on deck. 1 out with the possible tying and go-ahead runs on base here. Now a swing and a softly hit ground ball. The next 3-2. And he misses ball 4. So now that potential tying run scoots up 90 feet to third base.
That's a big no-no. He obviously had to work carefully with 2 men on, but he did not want to walk him to load the bases. Now he's really got his work cut out for him. We'll see how he fares here.
So the next to bat will be Tyler O'Neill. Potential tying run for him at third base. Ready to deliver. Here comes the first pitch. Just a bit high with the fastball, but didn't get the call.
Obviously a huge situation in the game here, but at the plate he's got to keep it simple. He can't try to do too much just because the bases are juiced. At the very least, just find a way to get that tying run home from third.
Count now a ball and a strike. Starts to go around, but the home plate umpire says he held up ball 2. 1 out with the possible tying and go-ahead runs on base here. 3 balls and a strike. Flirting with a little danger here.
It often becomes harder to hit the zone when the pressure starts to heat up.
Here's the 3-1. This is hit high and deep out to left. Gone! It's a grand slam. So he promptly unloads the bases with that one. First home run of the campaign for him. And just like that, it's now a 5-2 ball game.
And they complete the comeback with a flourish, going deep with a grand slam to take the lead. You don't get style points in this game, but I'd give them some if I could hand some out.
Eliezer Hernandez comes on to pitch here with 1 man gone in the top of the 7th.
Number 57, Eliezer Hernandez.
Stepping in now, Adam Wainwright.
Adam.
As the first pitch misses to him, it's ball 1. A hit in 2 at-bats for him at this point in the ball game. And he'll just fight this one off as it's chopped foul. Four runs here in this half inning. A ball and 2 strikes now. So 1-2. Misses, ball 2.
Ball 2.
Fastball swung on and missed as they set him down for the 2nd time here tonight.
Boy, that's the best pitch in baseball right there with 2 strikes. That elevated fastball. Every hitter thinks that, hey, they can do something with that, but most of the time you get the result that you saw right there. A big swing and a miss and another strikeout.
So now to the plate, Ozzie Smith. As he'll take a look at a high strike that time, it's 0-1. He could really use a knock here. 0 for 3 in the game so far. Into the windup, here comes the 0-1. And he pops him up, drifting toward the left side of the infield. Lee is there, and he puts it away to stop the bleeding. But the damage was done right here as you get another look at the grand slam home run. Bottom of the 7th inning coming up. Get up and stretch. It's now 5-2 St. Louis. Giovanni Gallegos will come on out of the bullpen as he'll be appearing in his 3rd game this season.
Giovanni Gallegos.
Now it'll be Brian Anderson. His career numbers against this pitcher. Small sample, a perfect 1-for-1.
Brian Anderson.
And the pitch.
Nope, that's down.
And now the Cardinals get the bullpen working here. Both a lefty and a right-hander have stood up.
1-0 delivery. Fouled off. The 1-1 is a slider taken for a ball. Now the 2-1 pitch. This one's down to third. Gloved by Arenado. Throw on to first, and one third baseman grounds out to the other, one away.
Now batting, the second baseman, Joe Panic.
Here's Joe Panic. He's 0 for 1 thus far. He's set, and the pitch.
Outside, that's a ball.
The 1-0.
Lucky he got a piece right there. He was definitely late on that pitch after seeing a previous off-speed pitch.
He's set. Here comes the 1-1. To 2 balls and 2 strikes now.
Wow, that was a close pitch on 1 and 2. The count's now at 2 and 2, but boy, that one very easily could have been called strike 3. Really close pitch.
Now here it comes. Look out. Don't want to hit him there.
3-2.
It's full 3-2. Jorge Alfaro will be next. Now the 3-2 pitch. (5-2) our score as we play inning number 7. Popped him up. Molina is there. He hauls it in without any trouble, and there are 2 away.
Now batting, catcher Jorge Alfaro.
And now in the box, Jorge Alfaro. Here's the first pitch. Bases are empty here with 2 men out.
Nope.
Ball 1 as he lays off below the zone. Now the 1-1 pitch is looked at for ball number 2.
Couple strikeouts early in the game, but he's done a much better job in this at bat, trying to get ahead and put himself at a good hitter's count.
Count even at 2-2 to the Marlins catcher. 2 out, nobody on. Here's one that misses inside, and the count's run full now. 3-2.
You know, you don't always have to straight challenge a guy on a 3-2 count. With the 3-run lead, no one on base, this is the perfect situation to do it. No reason to nibble and possibly set up a big inning.
Fouled away. Struck him out. Struck him out again, I should say. His third punch out of the game. 1, 2, 3 go the Marlins. They trail 5-2. New inning set to get underway, and in steps the all-time Cardinal great Lou Brock.
The left fielder, number 20.
Ready to deliver. Here comes the first pitch.
Ball, that's out.
The 1-1.
That's ball.
Trying to pick up that outside corner, but this misses, and it's back to even at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Pulled toward right center field. Sheffield moves to his right and puts this one away in the alley for out number 1.
Up next for the Cardinals.
5-2 our score as we get a look inside the numbers. It's our starter comparison for the two gentlemen that took the hill to start the ball game. So next to bat will be Michael Lee. First pitch of the AB on its way.
Hey!
Yeah, that looked like an auto take right there, just trying to measure up this pitcher's stuff.
We're in the 8th inning now of a 5-2 ball game.
Hey!
The fastball that gets the lower part of the zone called for a strike.
Yeah, this is straight survival mode. Down 0-2. The numbers are definitely not with the batter here.
Can't quite get the low outside corner there. It's 1-2. And they'll try to get him fishing there, but he won't offer in the dirt, and it's back to even at 2-2. Did well just to make contact there as he spoils off a good changeup. The 2-2 one more time.
3 balls, 2 strikes.
And this is where he's especially dangerous, because if you walk him, he can steal a base on you. But if you lay a fastball in there, he can take you deep, too.
Now this is swung on, and here's another fly ball out to right field. Sheffield is over to his right as he puts this one away. 2 down.
The first baseman, number 25, Mark McGuire.
Next, here is Mark McGuire. Struck out twice thus far, so we'll see if he can fare any better here. First pitch on the way.
Ball 1.
And a good fastball there, but this just misses the zone for ball 1. That's inside. 2-0. Now here's the pitch. 3-0 now.
Now with the bases empty, I think he needs to be careful not to just groove one here just because it's 3-0. He's a guy that could ambush you and lose one over the wall.
Into the windup and the pitch. And he turns this one around high and deep to center field. Marte retreats to the track, and he'll put this one away. So a sigh of relief as the side is retired. 1, 2, 3 go the Cardinals. They're still out in front, 5-2. Bruce Sutter will come on in relief as he'll make his second appearance of the season so far.
Bruce Sutter.
Juan Pierre will try and get his club back into it here as he'll pinch hit to lead off the home half of the eighth. First pitch of the AB now. Try to bunt for a base hit here as he gets this one down. But a foul ball here, 0-1. Now the pitch. That's taken. Now it's 0-2.
That's the exact spot to lean on as a reliever. As a hitter, you just have to tip your cap and look for the next one.
Into the windup. Here comes the 0-2 pitch.
Ball, that's out.
Stone cold take right there. That fastball very well could have sent him packing back to the bench.
1-2. Here it comes. And it's 2 balls and 2 strikes now. Swing and a miss at 1 in the dirt. Molina gathers and he makes the throw to first. Pierre is retired and there's 1 away. Next to hit, Starling Marte singled in his last at bat. First offering. Fastball just misses. That's ball 1.
Got to find a way to scratch at least 1 across. You do not want to take on the monster closing the game down 3.
Into his windup. Here comes the 1-0. And it's fouled away. From the windup, the 1-1 pitch. Swung on and missed. 1-2 now. And it's another K. So back-to-back strikeout victims to start this relief outing.
No problems for him on the mound since he's come out of the pen to start this inning. That's back-to-back Ks, and he's making it look pretty easy. This has the makings of a good outing so far.
Next up is Cliff Floyd, and they're down to their final 4 outs here, Dan.
Yeah, it's not looking too good for them right now, Matt. They've got a significant hill to climb, but they've got to take it one bat at a time. A couple of guys get on, and then who knows what could happen.
First pitch on its way. And he takes a cold strike. 0-1. And now a pitch on the way. Got him swinging, and that will end the inning. Miami down in order, and the deficit remains 5-2. Anthony Bass enters from the pen to start the 9th inning as he'll try to keep the score right where it is heading to the bottom of the 9th.
Anthony.
All set to start the 9th in this one, and in next it'll be the perennial MVP candidate, third baseman Nolan Arenado.
The third baseman, Nolan.
Here it comes. 9th inning begins as the first pitch is taken for ball 1. Now the 1-0. Good opposite field power here, taken high and deep to right. And he's going to make the catch. Oh, and he paid the price for it, too, as he crashes into the wall. So now here is Yadier Molina, who went down on strikes in his last at-bat.
Yeah, he's got to put that one behind him, especially with runners in scoring position. Those punch-outs will stick with you a little longer.
Ball, that's good.
He'll lay off a fastball here in a good spot, but ruled the ball 1-0. And he won't bite at that one either. It's 2-0. One out, nobody on. A swing and a drive sent out toward the gap. And it's gone as they add still another. So a solo shot here to left center field. First home run of the campaign for him as they open it up to 6-2 now.
Boy, you've got to love seeing a team that's never satisfied. They were up, but they've extended the lead to an even more comfortable 4-run margin. Going to be tough to come back from this one.
To the plate now, Tommy Edman, as the first pitch misses high and inside for ball one. 0 for 2 for him to this point. Now the 1-0. That's lifted the other way out to left. Floyd is there. He's got it, and there are 2 down now.
The center fielder, number 27, Tyler O'Neill.
So here is Tyler O'Neill. He's 1 for 2 in this one.
Hey, the difference in this one, they lead by 4. Go back to this guy's previous AB, a towering grand slam that knocked in 4 runs.
And now the first pitch. Now a ball slapped hard the opposite way. Sheffield gets under it and makes the catch to end the inning. But the Cards add on just a bit courtesy of this solo home run. Last chance coming up here for the Marlins. It's the Cardinals 6 and the Marlins 2. Now we're going to have a conference at the home plate area, so it would appear that we'll see a double switch here. Daniel Ponce de Leon will come on to pitch now as he'll move into the 8th spot in the lineup on the double switch here. Harrison Bader will also come on now as he'll move into the pitcher's number 9 hold in the order here on that double switch. David Lee will stand in again, but first we'll flash you back to the very first inning of the ballgame. And here you go, a solo home run that had him off and running early on. Now here it comes. And he fouls this one off. Into the windup, here comes the 0-1. Swing and a line drive, but that'll get foul. It's 0-2 now. Nothing in 2 count, and the pitch. Tries the slider to ring him up, but he lays off 1-2.
Hey, every ball club has that spark plug guy, and this is the guy right here. He usually ignites a lot of productive innings.
Swing and a miss, and that'll get a groan from the home supporters here. 1 away. Ready now for the Marlins, Gary Sheffield. 0 for 2 on his line thus far. First pitch on the way. Good changeup there to start him, but it drops a little low for ball 1. Bases are empty, 1 man out. And he watches a called strike as this one bears in on him. 1-1. Yeah, we see a lefty and a right-hander start to loosen up in the bullpen. Now the 1-1 pitch is taken for ball 2.
1 strike.
And that's ball 3 now as it just misses below the zone. Miguel Rojas is on deck. 1 out, nobody on. Heading out towards shallow right. Lee is there, and quickly 2 are gone here, and it's not looking good for the home 9.
Now batting, the first baseman, Miguel Rojas.
Stepping in next, Miguel Rojas. For his career in this matchup, he's 1 for 3. First pitch of the AB on its way.
Ball.
Well, you credit Adam Wainwright with the victory, barring any late turnaround here. Now the 1-0. Swing and a high fly ball out to left field. Brock ranges back, makes the catch, and that's the ball game.
Yeah, that's what you want to do when you're playing on the road. Take it right to the home squad and get a win. Now the pressure is off. If they get one of the next 2, the series is theirs.
And tonight's ends at a 6-2 finish. The St. Louis Cardinals put up 4 runs in the 7th to carry them to victory. Adam Wainwright earns his first win of the season. So that's a wrap here tonight. For Mark DeRosa, Dan Plesac, and Heidi Watney, this is Matt Vasgersian. You've been watching MLB The Show. For more, find us on Twitter at MLB The Show.
Our final line score tonight. First for the victorious St. Louis Cardinals. 6 runs, 5 hits, no errors. They left 3 men on base. For the Marlins, 2 runs on 3 hits, no errors. They left 3 men on base. Time of the ball game, 2 hours and 58 minutes. Thank you for joining us here tonight. And we remind you to please drive home safely.